Today we're going to have a look at something called welcome walks. A welcome walk is a pattern that we use to help a dog feel comfortable about a visitor. We love teaching dogs patterns. After the welcome walk pattern is learned, it can help our dogs feel safe quickly when new people arrive. Basically, the pattern itself becomes something familiar to the dog, and then we use that to help them feel better about things that are unfamiliar, which are the people. This very simple pattern has a visitor walking by and tossing treats behind the dog. This pattern allows the dog to associate visitors with treats while retaining the ability to move about and consume the yummy food away from the visitor. For setup, you will need your dog's normal walking gear, ideally a harness or flat collar, and a long leash. We like a 20-foot leash for this pattern. Be sure not to use choke chains, prong collars, or e-collars, as these work against this pattern of pairing visitors with good things. Your visitor will need a bag of really tasty treats. Here are some rules to get you started. Put your dog on the long leash and go in front of your home and stand at a point near your home's entry that will give your dog about 20 feet of ability to move about without going into the street. Stand still and don't correct your dog for anything. It's okay if they bark, lunge, or growl. This communication helps us know how they are feeling. Allow your dog to make their own choices about where to move during this pattern. Here are some simple rules for your visitor. Encourage them to avoid direct eye contact with the dog. Have them keep their body sideways to the dog and move slowly. As they walk towards the dog, encourage them to maintain a distance that is at least 5 feet more than the length of the leash. Have them toss a treat behind the dog when they are at the point that is closest to the dog. It's okay that this is still pretty far away. Have them toss treats underhand with small movements as possible. After the treat toss, have them to continue to walk away slowly and then turn around, pause, and repeat. Here's a quick graphic that demonstrates the pattern. Walking up, tossing the treat, and going on by. Just remember that this graphic doesn't have the dog on leash, and the dog will be on a leash in real life. Repeat walking by and tossing treats behind the dog until the dog has very loose, wiggly body language. Once we see some wiggles, we can have the visitor stop momentarily at the time of the toss to build some duration near the dog. When you're comfortable letting the dog sniff your visitor, have your visitor be very still during a few seconds of a sniff, then toss a treat away. Resist giving the dog a treat from the hand to the mouth from the visitor. After a few successful sniffs, walk together for about 100 feet, then walk together back home. This pattern is best used when demonstrated by your trainer the first few times. This will give you some understanding of threshold and distances to use in the very beginning. Don't rush this process. It will take longer for your dog to reach comfort the first few times that you teach the dog the pattern. That's completely normal. Don't push your dog beyond your dog's threshold. If you're not sure what the threshold is, ask your trainer. The reason we don't push beyond threshold is that we are teaching our dog that this pattern predicts safety. Reading your dog's body language is critical here. It's important to be able to recognize the signs of stress and the signs of happiness in this setting. If you don't know what those are, ask your trainer to give you some resources to help you learn those signals. Once we go inside, we're going to do comfort tosses.